So nice to meet you. Want to have a seat? Did you get here okay? Everything work out?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So, as I'm sure you're aware, you're applying for the position of assistant wedding consultant here at Bijou Weddings. And the main purpose of this interview is to get to know you a little bit, as well as get the idea of what kind of jobs and experiences you've had that you believe has prepared you to have this sort of position. We want to figure out what makes you the best candidate to join the Bijou wedding community. Let me tell you a little bit about the organization and what we're going to do here today. But first, I'm going to ask you a little bit about yourself. Then I'm going to ask you a series of questions that will help us decide what kind of experiences and background you have that we believe is essential for this position. And finally, secondly, we'll ask you some hypothetical questions to see how you'll handle different situations that you might encounter at Bijou. And then we'll end by telling you a little bit more about what we do at Bijou and what we strive for. So, yeah, do you have any questions so far?
No, let's get started.
All right, perfect. So, tell me a little bit about yourself and what makes you the best candidate for this position.
Well, the front page of your website says that you guys value creativity, integrity, and passion, which all three are things I definitely value as well. Especially in past work history, have been things that have been crucial in my job, as well as how I've been able to succeed in what I do. So I think I'm a good candidate for your guys' job because I know that I can employ all of those characteristics as well as go forth and be efficient with them.
Great. Do you have any past experience planning events? Or if not, what skills do you have that would be most applicable to this job? I do see on your resume that you have a lot of customer service experience, so if you want to tell me a little bit about that.
I've worked retail since I was in high school, which is probably the most customer service oriented job. So I worked in office supplies, which the customer clientele is way different than when I worked in clothing retail. So I've had experience in two very different customer experiences. At Office Max, it was more get straight to the punch, get them what they need and get out. At Nordstrom is more of an experience, which I really liked, to be able to create an experience for them that they remembered and would want to be able to come back to the store. Another thing that you guys mentioned on your website is that you wanted to have an experience for the Mr. and Mrs. And I think that having Nordstrom and being able to make an experience for my customers is not definitely not the same as planning a wedding, but it is on the same line and easily adaptable.
In a smaller way, right?
Right.
Yeah, great. So, should you be hired at Bijou, you'll be meeting with potential clients to discuss what they are looking for in their wedding experience. What are some of the topics and priorities that you would cover in this sort of meeting?
Well, I'd like to know their budget to see what they're comfortable with, because I think that's just like a really important factor in a wedding, regardless of your finances. Also what they want in their wedding, I think that's like the most important to them. So if they want something that I think is weird and goofy, I'm totally going to make that happen for them. So definitely those two. I'd also like to make sure that I have an appropriate understanding of what everything's going on so that I can go forth with it, because I don't want to misunderstand what they're asking and then make a terrible wedding for them. And then I think after the initial wedding, I would like to follow up with them and say, this is what I had come up with for you guys. Is there anything you dislike, do like? And then go forth and then be a little bit more thorough in all of that.
All right, now on to the hypothetical questions. So, say a bride and groom are set on a certain venue or vendor, but it exceeds their budget. What would you do? What was your next step of action?
I think a really important thing there is to figure out why that was their dream venue, because like one spot isn't unique and that it's the only one that's like that. So I think that finding one that is very similar based on what they loved about it, rather than that being the only one that's the option, is a really important move to make. So I asked them what was that they loved about it and what was it that they didn't like about it, because I want this to be a wedding that they're going to love. And I don't want them to have to spend more money and be uncomfortable with that, because that's not my objective. So yeah, I'd see what they loved and find a different venue and find a solution.
Okay. A bride that you're working with comes to you asking advice on how to deal with an overbearing mother-in-law. This happens a lot at Bijou. What do you tell her?
Well, I think as in my job title, it's not necessarily appropriate for me to be giving family advice, but I would definitely offer myself out there as someone who she's more than able to talk to and come vent to, and go through the experience with her. I'll do what she needs, but I would not be comfortable offering advice on how to go forth with her family.
All right. And our last hypothetical question here. Say you're coordinating a wedding for a very young, fun couple, and the reception's outside, but the day of, the band that was scheduled to play is running a half hour late. What 2 songs do you play to stall them?
Oh man. Well, I think I know the band that they want, obviously, because I hired them. So I know what music they like, and I'd pick 2 songs that they had either mentioned that they love or were similar to the band that we chose. But if they're goofy and young and fun, I'd probably pick songs that reflect that. Because if that's the theme of the wedding, I'd like that to also be the songs. So I'd probably make something that was an opportunity for a disaster into something fun and a good memory. So the 2 songs I'd pick would probably be Eye of the Tiger. And then I'd also flash the lights because I think that just makes it a different experience. And then one of their favorite songs that they love.
So at Bijou Weddings, we're a very fun, creative office, and we just want to make sure that you would fit in with the company culture that we have. So I'm going to ask you a kind of offbeat, fun question. So what is your spirit animal and why?
Oh, I have the answer. It's lunch.
Lunch.
Mm-hmm. My freshman year of college, someone asked me what my spirit animal was, and totally without thinking, I said lunch. It's the perfect meal. It's after breakfast, so you're not groggy, but you're not done with the day as dinner is. And it has you can have breakfast for lunch if you wake up late. But you can also have dinner for lunch. So it's totally not a normal answer, but that's my spirit animal.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
Have you planned your wedding? Would you hire Bijou?
Would I hire Bijou? I would definitely hire Bijou. I would probably be a little controlling about it, and I would want to do it myself.
Understandably.
But yes, I would totally get the help of all of our wonderful consultants to make sure my wedding in the future would be as perfect as I wanted it to be.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.